So, again, by accident, my video got stopped. And I was really, in the meat of the matter. But thing is, what I'm trying to say is that every blogger or vlogger I see with a story about Jim Brown has got their own take on Jim Brown's history. You get me? But here's mine. Because a lot of misconception and a lot of misunderstanding is going on out there. You get me? If you notice Jim Brown wasn't like the militant type of activist or militant type of gangster. Jim Brown was the arrogant, in your face type of gangster type of thing. You understand me? If you can remember, in the late 70s when the whole election campaign was going on and things like that, whole heap of atrocities go on and whole heap of gangster thing, garrison thing, and whole heap of happenings, a whole lot of happenings like that went on. Now the CIA would willingly admit that they inspired that change, that election, that win, that a placement of the then Siaga government into power, you understand, through various means of sabotage, subterfuge, all sorts of unfair means, tricks, politics and things like that to get Siaga into power. They readily admitted that. So what they needed, the thing about CIA is that when you got one CIA agent, he does not need 10,000 trained agents like himself from America to carry out the plan of America. What they do is recruit local operatives, because that's what they say outside of America. Jamaica had the most CIA operatives during that period. Yeah, outside of America, during the late 70s, 80s, Jamaica had the most CIA operatives. You understand me? Now, these operatives are usually local people who are trained, briefed on the operation, the jobs, and things are inspired, whichever way, through money or blackmail or whichever way. So, they need local people to operate like this. Now, the type of things that these people would have been doing to get the election the way it was, well, history would have told you, because it's all documented. You understand me? Well, we know who Jim Brown is and the Shower Posse were. Before that, we know they work with Siaga, they are part of Siaga thing and things like that. But point is, they are the most likely candidates to be operatives. I'm not saying they were, but if this CIA missed that opportunity to use them as candidates, it's like, they really missed, things would have happened faster, a lot faster, I would think. Yeah, but I would say they would have been ideal candidate to be CIA operatives, local operatives in Jamaica, and to carry out the deeds that the CIA admittedly, said they had was to carry out to get rid of Michael Manley. You understand me? But whichever way, it happens that Jim Brown ended up in America right after the whole interruption and Siaga was placed into power and things like that, selling cocaine, making millions of dollars, right in the period when you had the Colombian Contra war and things like that, and Henry Kissinger, Ronald Reagan and all of them were shipping over tons of cocaine to America, and they needed suppliers to supply them, to supply it on the street, at street level. You understand me? As they openly admitted that they needed a lot of black suppliers to help, which, they infiltrated the community and get black people to start doing these things. Thing is, they had, it just so happened that Jim Brown ended up in America selling tons of these cocaine. He and the Shower Posse, Vivian Blake and all of them. You get me? I'm not saying he was a CIA operative. Anyway, fast forward. A few years later, he got arrested fell foul of the law, and they shipped him home. Not seeing the 1,400 murders that he might have committed, that he had committed it in America. You understand me? I don't know which gangster want to do that. Some do. Some of them who rich for bad, not bad for rich. You understand me? It's the other way around with them. See. So I don't know how 1,400 murder come from one man, one organization thing, one local, small Jamaican organization thing like that. But so it is. You understand me? That sound like a man a kill with impunity. That sound like a man a kill with authority, like he knows he can't get in trouble, like he's got big backing, big strong backing that will get rid of anything. You understand what I mean? Backing like the CIA type of thing. I'm not saying they were his backing and thing like. I'm not saying they led him to think that he could get away with all of his 1,400 murders. I'm just thinking along the line saying people who've got their backing would do things like these as well. Anyway, he got thrown out of the country, sent back to Jamaica on one occasion. Some other way, he got back into America on many other occasions. America decided that, they were going to get rid of him for good. You understand me? He was going through extradition process. The Jamaica extradition process work away like this, where you can appeal the process. But most men just do that to buy time, because at the end of the day, America is gonna get you. They've got you. We are in Jamaica. They got you. You understand me? You're gonna go. So he just bought some time to stay amongst his people. I don't know what he thought. This is how delusional some people are in their planning and thought process, because he thinks somewhere, somehow, he could have gotten away, escaped from prison, and be free. And he escaped from America and was in Jamaica. He wasn't free. They got him and was shipping him back. He realized the appeal wasn't going anywhere. So he decided to escape, plan with Siaga. Then, I'm not sure if he was prime minister then or what, but he planned with Siaga to escape from the prison. Yeah, I can't remember the name of the head warder that was running the prison that day. Yeah, he was part of the plan as well. You get me? When the plan was for Jim Brown to set himself on fire, set the cell on fire, and when the smoke gets, a certain way, then he start making an alarm, and people would come to take him out and try to get him to hospital to treat him for smoke inhalation or something simple. And when he get to the hospital, his crew would come and take him from there. You understand me? But because of a statement that he made, if you go back to his video that he did when he was on his way to circuit court, handcuffed to Richard Storyteller Morrison, when the TV camera was on him, he pointed to the TV camera and said, "I want to know how comes you haven't come and spoken to me as yet. Me don't know how you not come talk to me yet, Me have a whole heap of things to say to you, I want to know. I want to come talk to me. You come talk to me, because I have some things to say." See it, and he was splinging it down the road and banging it like that. You can go back and look for the video about the shower posse. You'll see it. You understand me? And listen carefully, you'll hear what Jim Brown said. You get me? That was the nail in his coffin. You get me? Now, let's say, I'm not gonna hypothesize or theorize. I'm just gonna theorize. Let's say a CIA operative made a mistake like that by saying he's got a lot to say on camera. I mean, we don't want to hear what you have to say. That's critical. That's critical information. You understand me? We don't want to hear what you have to say. Whether it's about us or about anybody, right now you're in trouble and you look like you're about to crack. You get me? I'm not saying this is what happened, but I'm saying this is how it would have played out if the scenario would have been the way that he found himself to be an operative. And then at the end, when he finds himself trouble knocking at his door, he's going to be saying, "I've got a lot to say." It doesn't work like that. You get what I'm saying? So when he set his cell on fire, it started burning, and the second plan, the covert plan behind his back between Siaga and the green suit, was that the green suit must not open the break. You understand me? So in order to make this plan work, what the green suit had was to do was invite most of the staff for a drink at the bar across the road, because he knew what was going to happen. He wasn't supposed to leave the prison according to the plan, according to Jim Brown. You understand me? But according to the plan, according to him and Siaga, he had to do something to retract the energy from the prison, because you cannot, under no circumstances, release the break if you haven't got a certain number of staff on site. You understand me? In the prison, you're not, because again, warders are always outnumbered, even when they are fully staffed. You understand me? And prisoners always want to escape, even when they look calm. You get what I'm saying? So it's against protocol, totally against protocol. So warders who were on duty could only stood and watch Jim Brown being burnt in his cell and crying for mercy like a child and things like that, being roasted. You get me? Because the floor is wood and underneath it's a lot of years, hundreds of years of silt that was packed underneath it, you know, from cleaning the floor. Most of the dust just fell under there and it rose up. It was like about 3 to 4 feet deep, actually. And over the centuries, it was packed full to the floor level with silt. You get me? So it was not, but there was no stopping that fire. You get me? To show you, to confirm that it was part of the plan. Yeah, after they gradually came back on staff and pull him out the cell, put him on a gurney, a stretcher type of thing like that. The head warder, kicked the stretcher over. Yeah? And swear at him, what's it not, long time if he dead. That's, you could stay from one end of the prison and hear the groan of the other prisoners. You understand me? But no, they were all powerless because at the end of the day, that's Jim Brown lying there being treated like that. It was apparent murder as far as every prisoner was concerned. Now they knew from the treatment of, because couple of hours or a hour or so ago, nobody would even think to treat or act, show any sort of sign of subordination to the great Jim Brown within the prison. No, Jim Brown is a man who walks with his ratchet knife in his hand. You get me? Jim Brown go to the kitchen when it's food day, when they're cooking yellow yam and thing like that, and use them ratchet knife and stab a big piece of yellow yam, then the nicest, prettiest piece of yellow yam, and, you know, rub that some butter and thing and just walk around the prison eating his yellow yam off his ratchet knife like that, you know, total immune to any form of discipline, you know, yeah. In the Jamaican prison system, again, it's the last thing I'm gonna say, and you can go and research this. The Jamaican prison system is only two. You can't have two people lock up together because of the Boogerich law. Yeah, you can even have a single house or 3 and upwards. You understand me? When Jim Brown ready, man, Jim Brown and Short Piece, can't remember where Short Piece was from. I think it's Spanish Town. Short Piece in name. Yeah, man, Jim Brown just called Short Piece, man, and man, Short Piece got lock up in that, man. 2 of them. Because you got a midday lockdown, you know, and you got the whole night lockdown, midday lockdown for a couple hours, I think from about 9 o'clock till about 2 o'clock. Yeah, man, during that time, man, Jim Brown and him calling Short Piece, man, and him and Short Piece gone lockdown, man, and no water, nobody challenged that or anything. I'm not saying he's gay or anything nefarious or anything go on, because he was an avid painter and art enthusiast and thing like that. So probably a art in my Short Piece in there though. You get what I say? No disrespect to no one, but just tell you it like it was. You get what I say? Yeah. More bless.